If you hear nothing else today, let it be that suicide is not funny. If you feel depressed, reach out and talk to somebody. Hell, even if you're not, reach out and talk to somebody. Human connection is always a good thing, and it's really upsetting that people will give in and give up when they don't need to, when they have the option to talk to somebody. And if you don't have someone to talk to and you're watching this, come talk to me. Come talk to Weird Movie Club over on the Twitter. We'll try to brighten up your day a little bit.
Jam on toast!
Hey everyone, welcome to the Jam. I'm Cam Ryan. Today the toast is to Riley Rewind. Riley Rewind is the first production of Runaway Planet. That's the studio. It is directed by Ray William Johnson and written by Anna Akana, and who also stars in the movie. They are YouTubers for a long time, and they actually got to the point where they wanted to start working on movies, and this is their first attempt. It's kind of like their prototype that they put down for a resume and to show other people that they can do it. And it looks pretty good. The probably biggest downside is that it's presented as a web series when I think as a cohesive movie, it's much better presented. But this is week 23 of hashtag We Are Movie Club. This week is my pick, and I definitely wanted to pick this because I like doing selections that are a little out of the box, and I like web series almost more than I do movies. But we've been having a lot of talk about internet success lately, and the fact that two YouTubers, people who used to sit at home in front of a camera and do a show, and I put that in quotes not to be insulting, but to point out that you start as a guy or girl with a camera and you build on that, and that they took a journey. So this is the beginning, and they have legitimate shows now in production and good quality, much better than I have. But I wanted to kind of show and point out where that can lead, because they are examples for the rest of us. And whereas a lot of TV is not the goal, because TV is a dead medium, but like movies are a place you can shoot for if that's what you really want to do, and you're not always capable right off the bat. Where you can go to YouTube and do something, but maybe you can get to the point where you're doing a TV show and do it on the internet instead of going to TV. Where movies, I'd really like to see these guys hit the silver screen, so I thought it was worth us doing a review. The short sell on this is that a girl has the ability to go back in time, and she uses it to try to save someone from committing suicide. It's worth noting that Anna wrote this as part of a coping mechanism to deal with her own sister's suicide, so there are elements of this, not the whole time travel thing obviously, that are based on a true story and partly what she wishes she could have done for her sister. So while that's kind of just tugging at your heartstrings for maybe some guilt sympathy, I think it's worth noting, and I think it's a very powerful message to know where the origin of this came from. My love for this one is the time travel. It's kind of like a quantum leap type thing. She can rewind herself in the fourth dimension. She can't go forward, so she can cause multiple timelines, but she can't instigate a loop because she's not using an external device. She just rewinds back to her own body. My hated for this is that, unfortunately, the big adversity towards the end of the movie, and of course the main plot trying to prevent this girl from killing herself, are based on very sad, realistic events, and that brings me down a little bit because the movie's surprisingly serious yet upbeat. The MVP of this is by far Anna Akana, I think, as Riley, the main character. Not only did she write this, but she starred in it and had to take direction from her life partner there, Ray William Johnson. And I can't say like that had to be an easy thing for them to do together and work together, and then have to go home at the end of the night and not be able to like bitch about like, oh, this girl just wouldn't take direction. It's a funny thing to try to liven it up a little bit to me, but I think we have categories to get to. Aesthetics. For a first attempt at a professional production like this, they had to get some of the equipment just to do this. Equipment they're not familiar with, possibly, and equipment that they hadn't had. Yeah, they're fairly large YouTubers, so they've got a little bit of shishing, but that's the point, is they had to pay for this out of pocket because they're making their own studio, and that was part of the point was that they were paying into it as an investment to show what they could do so they could get the loans to do more in the future and make the money back, essentially. So super proud of them for how good this actually looked. Granted, a lot of it's just running around a high school because Anna's basically timeless, but the special effects, the rewinds, all the cutting and editing was actually done really well. The fact that they had the kid with the braces in there, they managed to do some very expressive click and cliche type things with the costumes to try to get the point across without developing the characters so much and wasting everyone's time, because they didn't have a lot of time to get this done or a lot of time to string together in the whole production. It's about an hour overall, and I think that's actually an important part of it, is that it's only about an hour or so in itself, so your attention is always on what's going on, and then we rewind, so you're paying attention to those details every time you go back and redo something. And I think they did that really well, and they carried forward, and they kept track of everything really good. Aesthetics gets an 89. Character development. Like I just said, the characters are developed very quickly. You can just kind of look at a couple characters and be like, okay, you're supposed to be this. And then they take them a little bit further through some dialogue. And I like that. It's not the best, but for you, the time frame that you're watching this on, yes, it works, and it does a good job. Riley especially, in all the turmoil she's going through trying to deal with the situation, and you really get a feel for who she is. You get a lot of quality out of that, even if there's not a lot of quantity there. But you get it from her best friend, and you see different angles of situations from the same people. And there's only a handful of characters really throughout this, but pretty much everyone gets some kind of weird little development, except for maybe Mr. Osborn, which I don't know what to do with that character, because I don't know why he was there. I'll be honest. Character development gets an 89. Storyline. This is actually a really good story. I mean, as soon as you say time travel, you've got my interest. So my question then becomes, what are you doing with the time travel? And it becomes an idea of a very normal, everyday girl, in this case, because she's an everyman, but she's a young everyman, so she's like almost an every teen. So there's that relationship to it. You're nothing special, and maybe you're not the most popular or person or whatnot, but you're someone, and you deserve to be respected as a person, and you decide to take what little greatness you have and do something extraordinary with it. And to me, that really sells a hero in the truest sense of the word. So she's doing this very selfless thing where she's damaging herself to try to help this other girl she really doesn't even know, but she knows that it's sad and upsetting, and that she wants to try to help, and in the smallest way break her own morals on the subject, really, and save a little bit of the world, make it better. Compulsion. I was really entertained by this. There's not even a lot of eye candy for me to be superficial about. Like, yeah, Anna's good, whatever. Like, I'm not gonna write home about her. So, like, that element's gone. There's not, like, crazy action scenes and big explosions, so that's gone. The time travel thing is compelling on its own. The way they deliver it is really good. The delivery by Anna and, like, all her emotion in doing this, and just the concept in general, really pulled me in, and I think they executed really well. Some of the lines could have been done a little better. Like I said, Mr. Osborn was used as an awkward kind of plot device to kind of force situations. But there's obviously things that could have been better. I would have liked it if it was probably about a half hour longer, but I don't know if it needed to be, because honestly, it's pretty damn good how it is. Compulsion gets a 92. Now, if you total all that up, you get an average of 91.25. For my wrap review, I gotta say I was so happy to finally see this when it came out. I was super excited for months beforehand. They actually had delayed and waited to try to release it at a specific time for whatever reason, and I gotta say I've been excited ever since it was first announced, and I'm super happy it's got out. I'm super happy I could share it with all of you. By all means, go over to Ray William Johnson's channel and check it out. This was a review for #WeAreMovieClub. This week's pick was mine. Next week is going to be Neil over on Damon Fox UK, and he's got an animated pick for us that we'll get to share. I think it's Karis, The Prophecy, and there is a sequel to it if you want to do a bonus review or mix them in together, Karis, The Revelation. But we'll get more from Neil next week. Be sure to keep an eye on We Are Movie Club for updates and stuff. We got a lot of changes coming up, and it's going to be exciting. Just keep watching and being a little patient with us while we get things together. That's it for me. I'm Cameron. If you don't like me, fight me.
If you want to see anything else we're up to, go ahead and click the annotations, and they'll take you to our other channels.